We're going to install the rights management service on a Windows 2016 server. And we're going to start by going to Active Directory users and computers. We're going to add a few accounts that we're going to need. And we're adding this to a domain controller. So let's go to our users folder here, right click, choose new user, and we'll create a couple of, or 3 users actually. We'll choose RMS admin. And we'll just copy and paste that for the name. And make sure the password never expires. And now we want to make sure RMS admin is a member of domain admins. Okay, very good. Now we want to create a couple of regular users. And we'll just call them RMS 1 and 2. And we won't add them to any special groups at all. And I can just copy RMS 1 by right-clicking, choose Copy. And we'll type in RMS 2. And it'll fill in all the other information for us. Have to make sure, of course, we use the same password. After we create our 3 users, we need to give them fake email addresses. So we're going to double-click on RMS1, and under email address, make sure you type in rms1@widgetllc.internal. Go to RMS2, do the same thing. It's right under the General tab. Type RMS2. And then it's going to be at the domain name. And RMS admin, same thing. There we go. RMS does use email addresses as part of its security setup, so that's why we have to do that for each user. Okay, so that's all done. Now we're going to go to our add roles and features, and we're going to add the rights management service. So we'll just keep fast forwarding until we get to that point. And we'll choose the Active Directory Rights Management Services and click to add the features when prompted. Click Next. And we're just going to leave the Rights Management Server. We don't need the Federation support. That's for people outside of your Active Directory organization. We're just going to be giving access to internal users only. And it's complete, so we'll click Close. And now we'll go up to where it says the flag under Notifications. We'll click on that and choose Perform Additional Configuration. And it brings up Active Directory Rights Management. So we're going to go through this particular wizard and get to the end, and then we'll be ready to use it. So we'll choose to create a new AD/RMS root cluster and click Next. We're going to choose the Windows internal database because I don't have SQL Server installed, but if you do have SQL Server, you can choose the top option. We'll click Next. Now we're going to choose a domain user account. RMS admin has been added. We'll click Next. And we'll choose the default cryptographic mode. Next again. And we'll choose the Use AD/RMS Centrally Managed Key Storage. Now we'll put in an AD/RMS cluster key password. And you can use whatever password you want. I recommend using the same password that we've been using all along for our users. And now it's going to create a default website for us, which is what we want to do. And at this point, you can choose an SSL connection. You'll need a certificate if that happens. But for our test purposes, we're going to choose an unencrypted connection, which of course is not recommended for production. Under the fully qualified domain name, we'll put in the name of our server with our Active Directory domain name. And we'll click Next. Under the Name the Server Licensor Certificate, we'll just go ahead and choose the default here, and we'll click Next. We're not going to need a certificate because we're choosing HTTP instead of HTTPS. As far as the registration goes, accept the default value and click Next, and then click Install. While we're waiting, let's open up File Explorer, and we're going to go in and create a new folder, and we're going to call it Secret. And then we're going to go to Properties and Share It. And we'll choose Advanced Sharing. And under Permissions, we'll give everyone full control. And we'll use that folder in just a minute. Looks like our Rights Management Services has been installed properly, so we'll click Close. And now we'll go into Tools, and we'll choose Active Directory Rights Management Services. And now we should be able to configure it. Now, if you see this error, which I'm sure a lot of you will, it means that you forgot to sign out and sign back in. So let's go ahead and do that. And then next time we go in, we should be able to get right into our AD RMS Management Console. And this time around, we no longer get the error. So we're in much better shape. Now that we're in the policy, let's go ahead and right-click on Rights Policy Templates, and we're going to click Properties. We're going to select the Enable Export checkbox, and we're going to type the path to our new location. That's going to be the name of our server, followed by the Active Directory name, and the name of our secret folder, which we created earlier. And we'll click OK. Now we'll go off to the right and click on Create Distributed Rights Policy Template. And we'll click Add. And we'll give it a name. Let's call this one Test. And in the description, you just put the letter X. You just have to put something in there. Now we'll click Next. And now we have Users and Rights. Under Users and Rights, we'll click Add. And under the email address, we'll type in rms1 at widgetllc.internal. And we'll click OK. And make sure RMS1 has full access. Now we'll click Add again. We'll type in rms2 at widgetllc.internal and click OK. And we'll just go ahead and put View Access. So we're going to give two different types of rights, and we're going to test out those rights after we go ahead and add this into the folder that we want to do. Now we'll click Next. And under the expiration, you can either put never expires or you can choose a date that is far into the future, whatever it is you want to do. And we'll click Next again. We'll click Next on the Specify Extended Policy, so we don't need to do anything there. And on the Specify Revocation Policy page, we'll just go ahead and choose Finish. So there we go. Our policy is now complete. Now we're going to close Active Directory Rights Management Service, and we're going to leave this particular server running, but we need to switch over into our client. Now we're going to log in as the administrator to start with, just to make sure that we have installed Microsoft Office, and then we're going to sign out and sign back in as the RMS1 user. If we go up to Devices, Optical Drives, we can choose a disk image, and you can choose the Office disk image at that point, or you can download the Office 365 30-day trial if you'd like as well. Now we're just going to install Microsoft Word on our Windows 10 client because we don't need all of the different applications, and that way it'll install a little bit faster. So I've deselected everything else I don't want. I'll click Install now, and then we'll get Microsoft Word going. Word 2016 was installed, so we're in good shape. And now we're going to log off and log in as RMS1. So we'll choose Sign Out, since they changed it from Log Out, or Log Off, and choose Other User. And now we'll log in as RMS1 for the first time. And we're going into our Windows 10 client. Logged into Client 01 as RMS1, we're going to go to the Control Panel, and we can just type in Control Panel in our search box. And we'll switch to large icons and we'll choose Internet Options. And we're going to click on the Security tab and make sure we select Local Intranet. And then we're going to click on Sites. And we're going to click on Advanced. And under Add this website to the zone, we're going to type in the name of our server. And click Add. And click Close. Click OK. And OK. Now we're going to open a Word document. And you can type anything you want, but we're going to type in Hello World. After we type Hello World, we'll go down to File, and we'll choose Protect Document, and we'll choose Restrict Access, and connect to rights management servers and get templates. It's now connecting to DC01 where we have installed our rights management services. Now it looks like nothing happened, but what you want to do now is go back to where it says Protect Document, go to Restrict Access, and then choose Test. And Test is the name of our RMS policy that we created. So click on Test, and now we'll go ahead and choose to save. Save it to the desktop, and we'll just call this test doc, not to be confused with our RMS policy. There we are. Now click on View Permissions, and we can see that RMS1 has all the permissions that we need. Now we're going to log off as RMS1, and we're going to log in as RMS2. But we're going to need to move our test document into the root of our C drive, otherwise RMS2 won't have access to it. There we go. And we'll choose Other User. And we're logging in for the first time as RMS2. We're logged in as RMS2. Let's open up File Explorer, go to this PC, go to the C drive, and there's our test doc that we moved earlier. We'll double click on test doc, and let's see what happens. Look at that, read only. We have no more rights than that. So rights management service worked. We were able to lock down our RMS2 user while giving full access to our RMS1 user. And you can do this by group as well. It doesn't have to just be by a single user. You can add this to a group so it affects a lot of users at the same time. So this way we don't have to simply give permissions to users or groups in the Security or the Share tab. We can also do it here using Rights Management Service. So that's how you set up and test RMS in Windows Server.